Hey guys, thanks for joining me again for another bit of a servicing tutorial. I've recently had in a Race Face Aeffect drop a seat post. Right, if you've got one of these and you've been online to try and find out how to service it, you'll probably have been like me and found that there's nothing or barely anything online to help you with a service procedure. I've actually stripped this down and serviced it already, so it's nice and clean and back in full working condition. To my surprise, I thought it was a cartridge type arrangement, like a lot of the seat posts on the market, which you just replace the cartridge when it stops working. But it's very, very similar to a RockShox reverb in the sense that it's got fully serviceable internals. It's got internal floating piston, oil inside, and it is fully serviceable. So why Race Face don't actually give you some service instructions, I would suspect it's because they want you to send it back to one of their dealerships or them directly, where they obviously make more money out of it themselves, don't they, rather than letting us mere mortals do it. Right, I've removed it from the bike anyway. That's the easy part, trust me. When you do remove it from the bike, you've got your remote lever which actuates a cable. That's where the difference lies between this and the RockShox reverb, because the RockShox reverb is a hydraulic actuated system, whereas this one, it's a little bit simpler really, to be fair. It's just a cable operated system. Now when you do remove the cable, you've got a little barrel here that your cable attaches to, that goes into the bottom of the actuator. It's only tiny, don't lose it. If you lose that, you're going to be a bit buggered really. If you do lose it, you sort of can wing it with other ways, but we'll cover that another time. Just don't lose it. Right, when you're working with any pressure systems of suspension, I can't sort of reiterate enough how important it is to release the air before you start any work, because there's between 200 and 250 psi of pressure in a very small little shaft inside there. If you start taking stuff apart, you're going to cause yourself an injury. You know, it could potentially explode and blind you. So please remove the pressure from the post. With the Race Face Aeffect, it's the valve is once you've removed the saddle, which you've got to do to do this. Once you remove the saddle, you'll see once the saddle clamps are removed, there's a valve there. I've pressured that again now, so you need to release the pressure. What I would advise as well, actually, is just keep a cloth close to hand, because there's oil and air mixed sometimes in here, and you don't want that squirting in your face. I've not got safety glasses on, because I'm wearing specs, but there you go. Now, to be wholly sure that the air's out of there, I'm just going to remove that valve core. Valve core removal tool. Just take it out. Oh, the workshop's falling to pieces. Take the valve out, valve core out. Again, put it to one side, keep it safe. What I'll do here, I'll just reposition the camera angle, because I just want to show you the basic tools that we need. Okay, so I'm going to come out of shot myself, because nobody wants to be looking at me really. Right, you're going to need Allen key. You're going to need a 2mm Allen key for this one. Try not to use crappy blunt Allen keys. If you look after your Allen keys, you know they're going to not strip the heads off the bolts. Allen key, a sharp pick of some description is ideal. Valve core removal tool, I'd say it's pretty essential for this. If you haven't got one, just make sure you remove the air. you're going to need quite a biggish wrench, circlip pliers. I think this demands some. If you'd send that back to Race Face, I would suspect Race Face have got some specialist tools to fit various bits, but you can quite easily, actually, I'll show you as we do the service, remove the necessaries with these just standard circlip pliers. These are internal circlip pliers, but you could use external, doesn't matter. It's just having these two, just these heads on that fix into the various slots. You're going to need a high pressure shock pump to re-inflate it. Ideally, you can do with a pair of verniers, just because we need to be setting some depths on a particular piston inside. That'll just help you do it a little bit more accurately. That'll become clearer later on. A boa strap. Now then, these seal heads should only be tightened on really, hand tight, you know, to a good hand tightness. But like I say, I've had this apart already. I needed the straps to get this apart because I don't know how old this is. It's a customer's, but I don't suspect it's ever been serviced, and it really was on tight. So you don't want to be getting any wrenches on there, any mold grips or anything, because you're going to damage that. It's only CNC alloy, that. So yeah, if you've got some of these straps, they're great actually, because you just put them on, they won't cause any damage. And if something's a bit stubborn, they basically just undo it, and you know, you can loosen that seal head there. Seal head, is that the correct description? Where it goes in anyway, I think it is. Right, vice, ideally some soft jaws for your vice as well. Again, if you've got soft material in your vice, in your jaws of your vice, they're not going to damage, or going to restrict the amount of damage you can possibly do. I've also got some soft jaws with different diameter clamps on there. That comes in handy a bit later in the service. So I've just undone that. I've just slightly undone that. I've taken the valve core out, so that's safe. First job, just get that in the vice. Sorry, it's in too tight. Wrench. You need your wrench because this bottom part is screwed in under here. So we need to undo that. Again, you'll probably, when you do this, that's going to be quite tight. So you might need to put a little bit of extra into your vice just to get that, just to unwind that. I want to be able to capture the sort of air of the mat there as well while I do this. So best of both worlds. The camera. Let's have a look. So right, so that I've undone that. That'll just undo by hand once you've got it loose. If it's a bit stubborn, just use your wrench. Right, once the threads are coming on there, when you push down, that's just going to come apart. Okay. So now we'll get that out of the vice. I'm just going to put this now on the workbench, and quite a bit of the stuff's done on the bench now. So let me just home in onto that a little bit clearer. Okay. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, underneath my vice, I've got a grip tray as well. This has got some remnants of when I was servicing the post before, hence the reason why it's full of tissues. Workshop tissues, cloths. That heavy duty Blitz kitchen roll is pretty good to have in your workshop for cleaning components down and stuff. I just prefer throwaways than cloth, because you're going to get your cloth really quite dirty and greasy with all this process. Right, so once you've got the bottom part unthreaded, where your actuator's attached, don't be pushing and carrying on with anything in there. Actually, you don't want to be messing about with any oil and air and stuff inside at the minute. So if you just get that apart by pushing it from the top where your saddle goes, you've got some foams on there, and there's this little, I think this is like what you call a bottom out bumper, so that when the post does go down, it's got something soft just to drop against. Right, you need your 2mm hex, and there are two very small. They might be gunged up actually. So, but amongst these threads on this bit here, there are two little holes. Now there are two little keys inside those holes which hold this shaft in place. So we need to. We don't just need to loosen them, we need to remove these. I'm keeping this in real time just so you've got an idea of how long it takes. It shouldn't take too long. Now what I'd suggest you do